uses his intelligence to win essentially. And Doctor Strange is like tied up like a whore and takes his ring.
You tied up
Gives
like
it
a
to them.
what?
Like a whore.
All right, bro.
Here in the Spider-Man review, that's what we're saying.
All right. Finish this shit, bro.
Bro, he was stretched out like a star.
Just can you imagine if like there was an origin story of of Spider-Man, but just in the Midwest?
That would suck so much. He can't do
Jesus, the shittiest Spider-Man possible. How'd you get around on a bike?
a 4x4.
No 4x4 pickup. I ride in the back of a 4x4 pickup. All right, now that that's over,
I'm a bit of a scientist myself. You know, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sometimes Movies. Name pending. Right now, I think we're still in film dissection mode because we still need to work on some rebrand stuff. But we're Sometimes Movies now, guys. So expect logo changes, layout changes over the next coming weeks. But as always, we are your hosts, Yusef Shah.
I'm Gagen.
Bryan Jiminez.
And today, we're reviewing Marvel's Spider-Man No Way Home. And boy, was this one of the best Spider-Man movies I've ever seen in my life. This
could, I think, potentially be the best live-action one.
Yeah, highly anticipated. People were hyping up since it first came out. It first got moved because they moved the dates were moving around a lot.
I forgot that they moved it around.
Yeah,
COVID, man. Post-COVID messed up.
But I saved a bunch of stuff on Instagram that I saw. It's doing really well in the box office. It has the third best opening night of all time, behind Endgame and The Force Awakens.
That's always going to happen with Marvel. Any big franchise will always continue to make more and more money, no matter what.
But it's also nice that this is like since COVID,
that's true.
Theaters being more open now again.
My theater was packed. Like,
Ours was too.
Packed as fuck, bro. And I don't really.
That was a nice feeling.
Let's talk about that theater ambience, man. That theater vibe, like when everybody's clapping, cheering, like that is nice, bro. It's nice to have that back.
Yusef, I don't know about you. You heard that, dude. There's a dude in like the front left. And it was like a more emotional scene going on, and it was like I could tell by his voice it sounded like a big black dude. And he was like, "I'm gonna cry," or said something like that. Did you remember hearing that, Yusef?
I don't remember hearing that, but I like that you said I could tell by his voice it was a big black dude.
I just knew by like his tone, it was a big black dude. He was like, "I'm gonna cry."
I hope that man was a tiny Asian man. I really hope it was.
Did you guys see any Spider-Man? Anybody dressed up as Spider-Man?
There was. The guy right in front of us was dressed up as Spider-Man.
Ain't no way. Yeah, I saw a couple, actually.
Damn.
It was pretty funny. They were walking out when I was walking in.
Let me tell you, I was really...
We got our own Spider-Man right here, though. We got our own Miles Morales.
Disney.
Ooh.
I mean, he just showed up. I mean, they're talking about, you got the new Marvel thing. I mean, you can't exactly say anything yet because you can't confirm or deny anything. But, we do got, Miles Morales,
I'm just saying, maybe Miles Morales is here.
You can't confirm or deny, That's how Disney works.
Now, I have a pair of Tims, and I'm not saying Disney gave me the pair of Tims for the role of Miles Morales, but they potentially, maybe, gave me a pair of Tims after they cast me as Miles Morales. So I don't know. If y'all see me swinging through New York, hey, keep it on the low, keep it on the low, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it on the low. Don't let them know what we get into. Just keep a lookout for that. Keep an eye out.
You know who else had Tim's in the new movie?
Who?
Jamie Foxx.
No cap.
They gave that man Tim's.
Yeah, they gave that man a whole redesign, and I'm so glad for that. The redesign they gave him was fucking epic. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about something I don't like about the Disney Spider-Man movies? There's too much CGI. And some of the shots don't look as good as in the Raimi films or even in the Amazing Spider-Man films because there's just a ridiculous amount of CGI. Like, Tom Holland's the only one to not wear a real suit. His suit is CGI. The rest of their suits are all real. Toby's suit is real. Andrew's suit is real. And the shots of him swinging are green screen. But he's still, like, swinging on shit. Tom Holland is completely CGI.
Right. And that bothers you?
A bit, yeah. Because I feel like the shots just don't look as good as, like, just like the swinging shots, especially, don't look as good in the Disney films as they do in the Raimi.
I did watch the original, like, 2002 Spider-Man the other day. And it was a little bit more dated than I remember being, but it's still good. Like, with some of the, like, the CG and the movement, the swing. You can tell it was very obviously early CGI, like the way his body moved was a bit awkward. But it's still good.
But you can't tell me the shots of him swinging don't look like, just in terms of, like, the form, it looks more real than in, like, Tom Holland's. Like, it just kind of looks like I'm watching a cartoon almost. But let's get into the spoiler free part of the episode. So, what do we think, boys? How do we feel about this film? Like, just
Want to start us off, Tim?
I really enjoyed it. I was very satisfied with how this movie panned out. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but on a rewatch, like on rewatching it, it's like 10 out of 10 for rewatchability. It was really, really good. There were some minor like details that I think could have been improved, but like I still really enjoyed it, and I think it was really good and potentially my favorite live action Spider-Man, to be honest.
it's definitely up there.
I agree completely. I think when Tim texted me, I think like a couple hours after I finished the movie, and he told me what you think of it, and I had described it in one word, and that's just fun. Like the movie was just hella fun to watch.
Me and Yusef, we saw it. Our showing was at 10:30, so it didn't start until 11. So it was like a late showing, and I got a soda just in case to be like, I just in case I don't get tired or something, because I don't want to be like sleepy at all during this movie. But it's like, and I also don't drink soda. But I was never tired or anything at all. I was very much engaged in it. Everything went by really quickly. It never felt slow or anything.
I don't think you could get tired during this movie. That's how like engaging there is. Like I don't think there's ever a point. Not to keep beating a dead horse, but let's talk about James Bond for a second. There's dull points in that movie where you can just tune out.
And these are around the same length as well, I think.
Exactly. And you're right. These are around the same length of film. You could tune out, wake back up when something interesting happens, and not miss anything of the story. There's like no moment you can tune out. Your eyes are glued to the screen for every second of this film. And here's the issue. James Bond felt very slow. This movie, I couldn't even tell it was 2.5 hours. The pacing is excellent in this film. It doesn't feel overly slow or overly long. It's paced perfectly, in my opinion.
And I have a feeling that all of us here agree that this is probably Tom Holland's best Spider-Man.
Easily. The other two Tom Holland movies don't even touch this one. They don't even touch it. It's not close. Because I liked Homecoming. Homecoming is a nice little, Spider-Man, high school, nice. For the kids. Far From Home, one of the worst movies ever. Far From Home is not only one of the worst Marvel movies I've ever seen, it's bottom tier Spider-Man movie, bottom tier Marvel movie. Far From Home was incredibly bad.
Damn.
Homecoming was nice. It was, like I said, it's nice little thing for the kids, nice little thing for the family. That's right. This movie though, different level. This one's for the boys, for the men, and the women. We're not sexist around here. For the men and the women.
For all genders.
For all genders, because we here at Film Dissection,
we appreciate everyone.
We do.
But I pulled up a thing. I think I might have sent it to you earlier. But on Rotten Tomatoes, the highest rated Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is 97, and now this is second with 95%.
I will say,
and then the third most is Spider-Man 2 with 93.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram actually. Someone took a screenshot of that and put them on Instagram. I saw that recently. Well, today, like a couple minutes ago. But what's interesting about this movie is I wonder if this movie like leans on fan service a bit too much. You know what I mean? because it's fan service heavy, super fan service heavy. And I wonder if that wasn't in there, would we be talking about this movie like the same way?
Does that mean all the villains would be maybe just one or
Granted,
two?
granted, if we got rid of all the fan service, the storyline, I guess this movie doesn't exist because this movie is technically Spider-Man fan service. Like that's to boil it down. This movie is Spider-Man fan service,
but done perfectly. I think.
Yeah, it is. It's done in good taste. I will say that it's done in great taste. So it works. But I wonder if, like, I
don't see how you could be disappointed with how they presented it.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. They did a great job. They did it in good taste.
Because if anything, they kind of like added on to what was already existing and kind of made previous things better.
I think they use this movie to like make Tom Holland. I think you guys like ever follow wrestling? Do you know what it means to get someone over? Getting over means getting over with the fans means like the fans love you. You're now a face. Like when the bad guy turns good guy, that's getting over with the fans. The fans now love you. And like now you're a favorite. And I think there's a big split like with Tom Holland as Spider-Man with like the fanboys and like just like the casual Marvel fan. I think the casual, which is like, you know, a lot of the Marvel movies are like geared towards, you know, like, you know, children and like teenage girls, to say the least, like who aren't really invested in the comics or the story, but just kind of like, you know, you got the actors, you like, it's a fun time. And Tom Holland, as we know, like, I think no one has issue with him being like Peter Parker, but I think like he just didn't feel like, he felt like Peter Parker, he didn't feel like Spider-Man. That was the issue. Is because he kind of felt like Iron Man 2.0.
Yeah, because they kind of did a revamp of like his story, and like he always had like the Avengers and no one else kind of guiding him, and he never really had his own like time to shine.
Exactly. Really it was just like you're Tony. You were trying to be Iron Man in every way possible, like even down to the suit you're wearing right now. Everything you have, you didn't go through the same struggle that all these other Spider-Men went through, which is why people kind of had like, and I think this movie helps get him over with the casual audience. So not casual, I mean the like hardcore heavy Spider-Man fans who like would just trash Tom for that. And I think now this felt like Tom's origin story. Like Homecoming was not his origin story. This one feels like it's his story. Like this is his.
It's just kind of a lead up to his beginning.
Exactly. This feels like now he feels like Spider-Man.
Like, but he like technically was Spider-Man, but he didn't really earn the title of being called Spider-Man until now.
Yeah, I think now he's for sure earned it, and I don't think anyone could take that away from him.
Yep, I agree with you guys completely on that.
Yeah.
Before he was kind of like an apprentice.
Yeah.
You know? Now he's like his own. He
literally got mentors.
Really, like he was mentored by probably all the Avengers, especially Tony. Like, and like even something interesting. This is an interesting thing. Is like what makes Spider-Man so relatable to like a younger audience. Is like he's like us. He doesn't have a lot of money. He's this kid, and he doesn't deal. There's
a reason why Spider-Man is Marvel's best superhero.
Yeah, and he's the neighborhood friendly Spider-Man, not the galaxy defending Spider-Man. And I think like him being on this galactic level, he just became unrelatable. And then one of the big scenes,
there's a line in the beginning of the movie where like we all know that in the last one, at the end of the last one, his identity is revealed and everyone knows who he is now. He's like, oh, well, I'm the most famous person in the world. I'm Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm still broke.
But he was never broke. I think that's one of the biggest issues with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is never broke. He's rich throughout this entire thing because he has Tony's money all the time. They took out a scene from Far From Home where Spider-Man had to sell some of his stuff to afford to go to the trip to where was it, Italy? Where they went to Italy, right? Or France?
Yeah.
He had to sell some. They took that scene out. And that scene is very important. Why? Because you actually see that, oh, Spider-Man doesn't have money. Spider-Man's just a kid. Spider-Man's poor. Kind of like a lot of the kids who grow up reading and watching the Spider-Man TV show and reading the Spider-Man comics. And that's what makes him so relatable because he has to do things like that. This version of Spider-Man never has to do that because he has Tony to lean on. His normal life is
just as shitty. You know? He's got girl problems. He's got life problems. And he's got to deal with the Spider-Man stuff.
But it doesn't feel that way in the first two movies. Now it kind of starts to feel that way in this movie. And I think they really kind of helped emphasize. They dug themselves into a hole by piggybacking him off Tony. But this movie, they somehow dig themselves out of that hole, and I'm very impressed. So you gotta give credit where credit's due.
I'm just excited as to what comes after.
Mm-hmm. Bri, how do you feel? Give me some of your thoughts about how spoiler free thoughts about how you feel about this movie. Things they did really well, characters,
I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna be tiptoeing the whole way just because like I'm really bad at not like I'm
you
really
gotta be careful as to what you say.
I'm really bad at this because I suck at not spoiling things. Because to me, something that's insignificant is like super important for other people, but like to me, it's like not as obvious.
Just be vague with what you say.
Oh, the characters. Besides Spider-Man, I think there's a lot of notable characters here that we all know that are already in the movie, like MJ and Ned.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is actually my favorite character in the Marvel Universe right now.
Same.
And
also, is he considered the Sorcerer Supreme or is Wong in now?
Wong. He was, and then Wong, and then remember he disappeared for 5 years, so it's Wong.
So Wong still got the title of Sorcerer Supreme?
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes.
But like none of them have like the time stone anymore, so
it doesn't exist anymore. Also,
it doesn't. But like that was the one thing that to me was like, damn, you're the GOAT, bro. Like you got that.
Well, he's also just like much better magic user than all of his counterparts, and he's also smarter than all of them. Thank you.
The sarcasm in the movie was just amazing.
Yeah.
They had good chemistry. Oh, back to what I was saying though. MJ, Ned, and Tom. I feel their relationship felt stronger in this one. I feel like, especially with MJ.
Yeah.
For reasons that are obvious, I can't say what happens near the third act of the movie, but it comes full circle. It feels like. And like I said, that's why I'm very excited to see what comes after because of the way.
Yeah, I saw some other stuff before that talked about how like, and I kind of agree on this point where it's like MJ's in other movies, but I didn't really feel that chemistry as well. But in this one, you do.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is good.
I feel it was her.
Previous movies.
She was much more supportive, and that's because Tom obviously needed that support. And
the fact that they're dating now, I think it shows that they can really like.
Bro, stop reminding me. Stop reminding me.
Tom says he wants to take a break to start a family.
No, bro. First Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Now Tom Holland and Zendaya. You can't keep getting away with it.
It's okay, Yusef. You'll get to
and then there's Ned. Then it's just Ned, just chilling.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Who else? Who else can I actually talk about? Oh, yeah, the villains.
Electro. Yeah, all of them except for the one.
To discuss more in the spoiler one, I feel like.
We'll start soon.
I think with this, everyone's good.
Yeah. Spoiler for your review. Spoiler for your review. The action scenes are amazing. I thought the fight choreography was lit. Story is fire. Tom Holland feels like Spider-Man now. Doctor Strange is the GOAT. Does that sound like a good spoiler for your review for everyone that we can all agree on?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's give our spoiler-free ratings because I'm gonna make this a separate video. So spoiler-free ratings. What are we giving it?
Going to be the same as full review?
It is, but we have to give the ratings.
Just make 2 videos. I agree.
We have to. So
just separate it. So I'd say 9 out of 10. But I'd say 9 out of 10. But it's like something I can rewatch probably like anytime.
I'm literally gonna rewatch tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Even though I have like Dune at a higher rating compared to this by like 0.5, I think like this movie has much more of a rewatchability to it, and it just like it's
because this movie's
it may not be like it's not completely perfect, but it's very, very enjoyable.
Well, Tim, this movie's
2 different types of movies.
Yeah,
completely.
This movie's rewatchable because this movie is a complete film. Dune is not a complete film. It literally ends on a cliffhanger. Like you don't know what happens.
Okay, we're talking about Spider-Man. Let's not you guys do your review.
Yeah. 9 out. I also agree. 9 out of 10. Good shit, Marvel. Great job, Tom Holland.
Thank you. You'll get more of my money tomorrow.
Tom Holland's a Tottenham fan, and I'm happy about that.
He definitely is.
He is. So love that man. All right. So now we're getting into the.
Brian, you never gave your.
He said 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we good.
All right. So that was our spoiler free review. Now we're getting into the spoilers. All right, guys. Now that we
You want to take a break to do a new intro?
Oh, we just use the same one. You just cut it if you want.
yeah, I'm
If it's
probably
easier
just
for you,
gonna
you
use the
just
same
start it.
one. I was probably just gonna do the
Okay.
same one.
All right. Cool.
All right, now that that's over,
I'm a bit
let's
of a
get in.
scientist myself. You know, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
He said it.
Well, I was like the only one I feel like that laughed when that
I
scene
saw it
came on. I
coming,
didn't
too.
hear you guys
Oh,
laugh.
so whenever trying to plan it, I was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do this and that. And he just the camera just pans to him like, this motherfucker's gonna say something, bro. He's gonna say something. He's like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Can we talk about how William Dafoe morphed into Jim Carrey halfway through the movie?
Yeah,
Like,
I
as
can kind of see that. Yeah,
he morphed into
he
Jim
kind of
Carrey.
looks like him.
He looks like him, and then like when he went to like Green Goblin mode, like all I could think of was like, this is not William Dafoe, this is Jim Carrey.
That's not what I was thinking of. I was just thinking of, damn, Green Goblin's a menace.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that
Green
nigga is a
Goblin
menace. Yo, I
Yes,
saw this
a
one
menace.
TikTok. I saw this one TikTok that was like, I don't understand like why all the superheroes and villains started working together after 9/11. Like I wanted to see a Green Goblin go, thanks, Al Qaeda. That TikTok. I got. Okay, I gotta like actually like link that. Like I gotta put that video in the
You gotta add some reference to that because I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah,
it's
because
called.
out of context, that sounds so incredibly wild.
I don't understand why the villains helped the heroes during 9/11 in the Marvel universe. That's such a fucking cop out. That shit should have been like, ha ha ha! Thanks, Al Qaeda.
But yeah, I mean, for sure, Green Goblin just stole the show in terms of like the villain of the movie. Although there's a bunch of them, and they all were doing villainous things, but like Green Goblin just took it home.
I
Green
felt-
Goblin just he brought the seriousness to here.
Here's
For
my
sure.
issue with some of the villains is that it was very obvious that some villains were more important than others, and like they didn't try to make them all feel equally important. Like
But they had different motives though too.
that
Like,
is
they didn't
true.
have
I'll
the
give you
same
that.
plot. Because
Mhm.
like Sandman was just vibing, bro. He was like, I'm just trying to get out
That
of here.
nigga not even a villain for
Yeah.
real. Like he's a villain in name only.
He was like, okay, your plan's not working. I'm just gonna work with these guys, I guess.
did he commit a crime at all throughout the film?
I think he broke a couple like windows.
Like he's the first scene, he shows up and saves him, and then is like, "You're gonna send us home," and then he didn't even get the chance to cure him yet. Like they never even gave him the chance to cure Sandman. Then Electro was like, "Nah, I'm evil now," and then Sandman was just like, "Damn, if everybody else is evil, I guess I have to be evil too."
I mean, I guess Sandman was just kind of the fact it's like he
wanted
couldn't
to
really
go home.
trust Spider-Man, and yeah, he wanted to go home, and Tom Holland's way wasn't really working, so it's like, may as well work with these guys because they seem to have it better.
They didn't really have a better idea. Their idea was because at least in Tom Holland's idea, he'd be able to see his daughter again. With their idea, he would never even get the chance to see his daughter again because they're just trying to take over the world, which he has no care for.
Right. Behind him was a fucking lizard. Like I don't
Yeah,
know what his
Lizard
motive
really
was.
didn't do anything.
I
He was
don't
in,
know what
he was
his
in the
motive
he
was,
was in the
bro.
van for one scene, just literally just like they had him hiding in the van.
His whole thing was like, I'm just trying to what the fuck, evolve or whatever. I'm trying to make everybody turn into a reptile.
I'll be honest, I never even saw the Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2.
Really? You need to go. 2, I could see why you wouldn't see that, but 1, the first one's actually good. Like the first Amazing Spider-Man was good.
I'm not afraid to say that Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man.
You need to leave!
I feel like he just gets hate because he was cool. Like I think that was his issue. Is he was the coolest Spider-Man, so everyone just doesn't like him. It's like, oh, Spider-Man's not supposed to be cool, when in fact, Spider-Man is very cool. He's what most would refer to as a pussy slayer.
And they even mentioned that in the movie.
I know.
They hype him up literally. Man. Okay, real quick. We should probably do this. What's your favorite scene out of like the whole fucking like 2 hour long movie? Because I have one already in my head. I wonder if you guys had one.
My favorite scene is between two scenes.
Alright.
It's
Alright.
either when like they're all on the rooftop together, all 3 Spider-Man, just watching them talk to each other.
And they just vent to yeah, that shit is different, bro.
I nutted in my pants.
Someone was like, and you just see him just posing up. I like the shot that they used to.
Yeah,
They look like
yeah.
the Three Ninja Turtles, bro. That's what it looked like.
So fire.
Yeah, so
Or
yeah.
or when he saves MJ, Andrew.
Yeah.
That was mine. That was
Dude.
mine.
So I don't think we said it yet, but all the Spider-Mans are in this. We got Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
They brought them together, and they did it masterfully.
Beautiful.
It was
Bro.
kiss.
Bro, it was funny as shit when Toby walked through the portal with normal clothes on. They were like, do you have your costume or are you dressed like a 30-year-old man?
Like a youth pastor?
Yeah, exactly. He just walks in. Who are you? I'm Spider-Man. Are you? Like, he's just wearing any outfit, and I just thought that was hilarious, bro.
It doesn't even make sense, That's just how he is. That's how he be.
Or when he shoots the webs out of his wrist, and they're like, "You don't have a web shooter?" He goes, "No, I just shoot it out."
Yeah, they're like, "So does it come out of anywhere else?"
Sorry, I laughed when he said that, bro. The punchline.
I
mean, we're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. They made it canon. They confirmed it. It's canon. It doesn't happen.
I just remember this scene, but obviously the part where Andrew saves MJ and like has like the little moment like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And it's like, damn, he did what he could have to his own girl. But yeah, you do share your part, Tim.
Yeah, and one of my favorites was a more comedic scene, just like having Andrew Garfield crack Tobey Maguire's back. Just seeing them do that, having them have those actors as Spider-Man and having them literally be a chiropractor and just to do that.
Dude, that was so amazing. Like, I think the moment they like both just came on screen, like that's like every moment they shared.
I didn't realize that was him at first. Everyone's freaking out, and then
because Andrew is like hella tall, and like just the way he was slim and tall. I was like, that ain't.
Tom Holland is ridiculous short. Tom Holland is short. Oh my god, he looked like a midget standing next to him and Toby.
Toby looks kind of short in the movie as well. I don't know if it was just me.
Andrew Garfield, I think, is just tall.
He is tall in general, but like once I saw like the alleyway, it was hella dark. I was like, that's not Tom Holland, bro. And it wasn't Toby either. Like I knew that was Andrew.
Yeah, same. It was so obvious it was Andrew. Like that's Spider-Man. Because one, he's not even wearing the same costume. Two, he's standing at like 6'2". So I'm like, it's clearly not Tom.
When he saw that he got closer, everybody was like, oh, and I was like, yep.
Yeah. That's when Yusef started freaking out. I know Yusef was.
I started fangirling so hard, bro. It was crazy.
Because I didn't expect them to be introduced that way either. To be honest, like I thought they would have like been introduced in a different way, like near the end. Because during the trailers, like Doctor Strange is like, I can't help like some people are getting in. I thought that was like when they would appear, but it turns out they appeared way before. And I think it's better this way instead of them just hopping out.
Yeah, they actually like give him like more support and mentorship, and like it's understandable and like earned.
Yeah,
and it's just very perfect and fits where it needs to.
Tom literally got guidance from mentors. That's why I'm super excited moving forward.
See, instead of them trying to be like, "Oh, Tom, your dads are Doctor Strange and Iron Man," they should just be Toby. This is why this feels like the actual origin story. Because if you want to give Tom Holland like a mentor or someone to piggyback off of, use the old Spider-Man. We watched the same story twice already. Now we're about to watch it a third time. Use the old Spider-Man. Dude, this is like the rite of passage because it literally feels like they passed down the torch to Tom. And I think now, like, you can't deny him his flowers, bro.
Also, something that we haven't talked about is just that they showed Daredevil off, which is something I fangirled off of because Daredevil, as we mentioned previously, is my favorite show of all time. And I kind of had a white person moment where I was like, "Oh shit!" And I did a loud. And I don't know if I was gonna clap or if I was just like that out of excitement, but either way I stopped just to like not like be too much of a white person. But
I was very hyped to see him, but I felt weird.
I was freaking out. No one else in the theater was really like there were some people, but it's like it wasn't as much as the other stuff. And like I had to explain to one person what Daredevil was that was next to me.
As someone who just recently started watching Daredevil and just going to see the movie and seeing him in there, I was like, damn.
And I was just thinking to myself before I saw this, I'm like, if I just see Daredevil, I don't even have to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I will be satisfied. And they showed him, so I was very happy with that.
I thought he was gonna have more scenes, but just I'm
Me
okay.
too.
I'm okay with just that. I'm okay.
I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna return, and it didn't. But I mean, still, I was satisfied with what he did. They put him in there, and they did all this other shit. And
maybe the next Spider-Man. Maybe he's there. Just saying.
Hmm.
They
Because
need,
that's
Because
one-
they could. They could.
that's
We're talking about Daredevil.
I know what you're talking about. They need to give this nigga his own movie first before they put him in the next Spider-Man
He
movie.
got his
But
own
the show-
show though.
He has his own show, but he still needs a movie. Like, you can't just throw like show characters into
I'm
a
all
film.
for it. But you know, I guess
I
it does.
hope
Feel
they're-
like a lot of people
I
have.
hope when they bring back Daredevil, though, they're going to keep that level of darkness
Hopefully.
with his show.
Because he's not
They
really funny. He's not a funny character. Like he has, you know, he's witty, but he's not like super upbeat half the time. But I would be excited to see a Daredevil movie though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Have him working with Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Get Team Red going.
It'd be a great way to do it because, like, I mean, we could talk about a little bit of the ending. Now,
Bro.
I'm thinking something in Yusef.
Because when
What?
you said Team Red, only thing I could think of was Deadpool x Spider-Man movie.
No, because Team Red there's a combination
I-
of comics where it's Daredevil,
doesn't care. He
Spider-Man,
wants, he
Deadpool.
knows
I don't give a
Deadpool.
fuck about none of that. You get British Tom Holland and Blind Daredevil. Don't care about none of that. What I want is a Spider-Man x Deadpool movie versus Taskmaster. And that Taskmaster needs to be the main villain. Spider-Man, Deadpool movie. Billions of dollars. Disney, hire me now. And cast me Miles Morales.
Deadpool is yet to actually like be in an actual like Marvel movie with other characters.
But didn't they
besides,
buy
like,
him out? They bought him
They
out.
did.
Yeah.
They did. That's why I say he's not yet.
He
To be in
is.
one. He's going to be in one eventually, but I mean, it'd be funny to see that happen, and it had to be a rated R movie, of course, which would be cool to see Spider-Man in a rated R movie. I mean, maybe.
The reason why Spider-Man x Deadpool is funny is because, like, Spider-Man's witty on his own, and then when you add Deadpool, it becomes not like who can outdo each other. It's, damn it, you have to see, like, Spider-Man be, like, responsible and take care of stuff. Because Deadpool's so immature, so irresponsible, that Spider-Man, like, drives himself crazy trying to keep this guy in line. And that's why, like, have you guys ever seen The Ultimate Spider-Man? That used to come on Disney. It was with Drake Bell.
Oh yeah.
They did a
yeah.
Deadpool x Spider-Man episode with Taskmaster as the villain, and it was probably it was amazing because literally Spider-Man's like, just stop doing everything you're doing, and like Deadpool's just being normal Deadpool, fucking around, destroying everything, and Spider-Man's just trying to like keep everything under control, and it's just the funniest thing ever. And I think if they did that, that would be amazing.
Quick question: did you guys remember near the end when Doctor Strange said that some things did get in and was trying to block it off? That
Mhm.
left me questioning a lot of things because him just saying that meant that something did sneak in, whatever that might be, and
So
that could be, for example, like Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like it could be someone completely different, someone you knew.
So
I'm just curious to what that means moving forward. Maybe it's nothing, but like to me, that feels like it's something.
Tim, you're not familiar with Loki. You haven't watched the Loki TV series, right?
I haven't watched Loki yet now.
Bri, have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So, Bri, you're right. Something did sneak in. That's like the whole plot of Loki. And that's how Loki, WandaVision, and all this, they all tie together with this whole multiverse bullshit. It was kind of like Tom didn't break the multiverse. All three of them collectively ruined the multiverse.
It definitely did.
Because Loki with the whole timeline thing and like the one universal timeline, Wanda with creating the alternate reality inside of whatever that place was called, and then Tom with trying to get everybody to forget he was Spider-Man. So,
Trying
yes.
to get his friends into college.
So, yes. So, you are right. Something
Breaks
did
the universe
sneak
trying to get to MIT.
in.
That's a good motive, though. That to me seems like a really Spider-Man thing to do, like a Peter Parker.
Mhm.
It is a very Peter. You're absolutely right. It is a very Peter Parker thing to do.
Oh right, I was happy with that.
Mhm.
And I felt that. Like, when they were all trying to get into college and I got those rejection letters, I was just like, I felt that.
I also loved how Hannibal Buress just thought that he was a murderer.
Like I was dying when I saw it because I thought that one video you gotta eat the whole lettuce. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. You're gonna have to find that shit.
Bro, I love Hannibal Buress. Bro,
He's great.
Yes.
He's awesome.
The
this
fact
movie,
that they had this a gym teacher who's also a conspiracy theorist is
Yeah.
perfectly, like, that just makes sense. It had to be Hannibal Buress.
bro, it was so good. Oh my god. I just, bro, I'm sorry if I can't get any words out because I'm just thinking about because I can't talk about anything because all I can think about is just seeing them on screen again. You know what? I know I want to talk about the fight scene between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Let's talk about how that was one of the best fight scenes in Marvel history. Let's really talk about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian, I would agree with you as Doctor Strange being the best MCU character. I agree. His movie's my favorite movie, and he's my favorite character. And it's because everything he does is amazing. That's why I'm saying this right. I want y'all to hear me right now.
It's powerful and it looks cool.
At 9:50 p.m. on Saturday, December 18th, 2021.
51 now.
I'm saying right now, at this moment, that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness will be the greatest Marvel movie ever created. Better than Iron Man 1, better than No Way Home, better than Infinity War, and better than the first Avengers. And I will die on that hill. I know for a fact the movie's going to be the greatest Marvel movie ever made.
I mean, as someone who is a fan of Doctor Strange, I'm gonna be honest. So, guys, in case it's spoilers at this point, but basically, one of the post-credit scenes is basically like the trailer.
It is the trailer
Doctor
for
Strange movie, which felt weird because usually it's like a scene from the movie, not like a trailer, which felt a little off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
it looked cool, but I was just confused as fuck. And then, like, moving forward, I look forward to it. Like, I'm gonna watch it regardless because, like I said, he is my favorite. But it's just it's a different turn because it's like horror. So I'm just excited about it. Really, I don't know if it's gonna be the best. I will say that. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the best because I feel it's gonna be really hard to top this one and the other Marvel movies. But
it will be the best.
I have hope.
It will be the best. It will not be a competition. It will be the best, flat out.
And like I mentioned to Yusef, it's directed by Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Man trilogy and was also a former horror movie director, which seems like a very good combo.
Well, I have hope. I have high hopes for this one.
I'm just saying, yo, what if they hired Ari Aster to direct one of the Marvel movies? My point exactly be disgusting.
There should be naked people somewhere in there.
Dude,
they got Tarantino to make one, bro.
Get Martin Scorsese to direct a Marvel movie?
No, I'd be okay with Scorsese, but if Tarantino or Ari Aster came anywhere near a Marvel movie, I would cry. Because they would destroy it. They would absolutely just, oh god, it would be bad.
One thing I was curious about was how the Eternals tie in at all, because that's the other recent movie that came out.
I forgot about that movie. I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, Eternals is such a forgettable movie.
Forgettable, but it's connected. This is phase 3?
Phase
right?
4. Phase
4. And obviously that means everything is connected some way. And I just had a hard time seeing how they were connected here exactly. But that might have been...
You could say the same for Shang-Chi, though.
Forgot about Shang-Chi, bro.
How'd you think about Shang-Chi?
And I liked it so much, too. But I just, he's like all the way over there, and we're like over here,
That's what I mean by it's getting harder and harder for Marvel to keep doing these origin movies because like it doesn't make like they just kind of feel like
they're so distant.
They don't feel. It's not that they feel different. They just feel like floating. Yeah, like they're just floating in space. Like this movie exists, but why? Like, you know what I mean?
Even just like the settings of the movie themselves are like so far apart. Like Shang-Chi's in China, San Francisco. Eternals were like literally all over the world, and obviously Spider-Man. Everything happened in New York, and they're so separated from one another. So hopefully they meet. I don't know, like in Ohio or something, bro. At this point,
where do you think Ohio is?
The final destination.
You
got New York, you got San Francisco. And
nigga was trying to get to the middle, said Ohio. They don't know where you think Ohio is. You try Colorado, maybe Colorado, Nebraska. Nebraska. That's like the middle.
Oh, wait, never mind. They have gone to California. What am I talking?
Nigga said Ohio. I'm done.
It's
what Tom Holland only has to drive. Has to drive like 2 states.
He's got to swing in the cornfield.
He's not able to swing. Besides like telephone poles.
Can you imagine if like there was an origin story of Spider-Man, but just in the Midwest?
That would suck so much. For you can't do.
Jesus, the shittiest Spider-Man possible. How'd you get around on a bike?
A 4x4.
No 4x4 pickup. I ride in the back of a 4x4 pickup. Nah,
buses.
That'd be funny as shit.
We were talking about something, but I forgot. We got sidetracked when one of your Doctor Strange.
Oh, we were supposed to be talking about the Doctor Strange fighting
the fight
scene.
scene.
Yeah.
The fight scene.
Yeah.
Visually,
Motives. I want to start out with the motives. Why they were fighting in the first place.
go
Right.
for it.
Basically, Doctor Strange wanted to just kill everybody, just like put an end to all this. All right, because it's getting out of control. Spider-Man was like, "Wait, let's try to help him." And Doctor
Should we
Strange
do a
was like,
brief synopsis of the story so far, or no? Because we never really kind of explained like the story as it is, how it got to this point. But I mean, if it's spoiler,
You want to know the
I mean, it's up
story?
to
Watch the trailer. Watch the trailer. The trailer
Okay,
tells the
yeah.
whole story. The fuck? We're
Okay.
here for a review, bro. What the fuck wrong with y'all?
because we never mentioned the fact of them like getting the villains and then containing them. But I mean,
Also, this is the spoiler version. That means we're assuming you watched the film already for watching this.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just curious.
log out right the fuck now, because yeah.
Bro, talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit. Let him know. Talk your shit right now.
Right, so different motives. Spider-Man's like, "Nah, we trying to help you," and he was like, "Nah," and he just grabs this cube, this freaking Allspark from the Transformers series, and he starts to dip. And obviously, Doctor Strange wasn't going to have that. And there was one
He's
point
like,
where like he does
"Call me
like
sir."
punches him, and he separates his body and his
soul from his
soul
body.
separately. And Spider-Man was able to still control his body, which was funny.
Got the spider sense.
He does have a spider sense. That was pretty cool to see.
Mhm.
But then we get into the weird shit because Doctor Strange opens up a mirror dimension. So basically, everything that happens in his mirror dimension can only affect what's in it. Everything outside is not affected at all. And that's when you get the weird, like psychedelic, like weird shit, like from Inception. Buildings are turning, floors were coming up and down. It was crazy as fuck. And in the end, just to kind of, I guess, spoil it, Spider-Man wins because he uses math. Like literally, he uses what
Yeah,
Spider-Man
smart
kind of
Doctor
being-
Strange.
He uses his intelligence to win essentially. And Doctor Strange gets like tied up like a whore and takes his ring
You tied up
You
like
get
a
it.
what?
like a whore. What are your thoughts on the fight scene, Yusef?
You already know my thoughts. Fight scene, number one fight scene in Marvel movie ever made. Any fight scene that involves Doctor Strange is already number one fight scene in Marvel movie.
Already a great fight scene.
Exactly, bro. The reason
Can't
why
go
this,
wrong with if you got Doctor Strange there, you can't be bored in a fight.
you know what's crazy is the ring. I'm so mad about Marvel is they're not utilizing Doctor Strange enough. I don't think we understand how powerful this man actually
Well, they
is.
can't. Well, the problem is that he's powerful, and they're like, oh, it'd be like a Mary Sue if they use him too much.
I think that is part of the issue because Doctor Strange is like, he's kind of a god tier superhero. Like when you really think about it, like this man can kind of do everything. Like when he put Tom in the mirror dimension and Tom didn't realize what the hell is going on, and he literally just shaped reality to what he wants it to be. And I'm just thinking to myself how cool that is. Like he's like, listen, bro, you are in my world. Look what I can do in this world, bro. And he's just turning everything
He's just
upside
flexing
down.
on him. He's just flexing on him at that
showing off.
Yeah, he still gets beat. He still
Bro.
gets beat though. He shouldn't be. I mean, realistically, he shouldn't have been beat by Spider-Man, but he did, and I'm happy.
I mean, he's
about
also like holding back a little because he knows.
I mean, that is
Yeah,
true.
he's holding back a little is an understatement. Him showing off. This might look like a lot, but he's like literally not trying. Like this man is walking the whole.
power.
He doesn't run in any part of the fight. He walks the whole fight. He's walking him down, and it's just like, bro. And like Spider-Man tries to swing away, opens up a portal, brings him back. I thought that was when Spider-Man tries to swing, he literally swings himself into a different portal. And I thought that was the scene.
Yeah,
where,
he did the portal loop thing.
yeah, the loop. I thought that was funny as hell.
that was clever. It was
Yeah.
clever. And the K Loki was pretty fun to see
Yeah.
play out.
That's what I mean by like this man Doctor Strange is using an ounce of his power, bro. An ounce of his power. Like if he were to go all out on Spider-Man, wouldn't even be close.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't
but
even be
Spider-Man
close.
caught him off guard because he knows his math,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
He's able to outsmart him and win that battle.
I think he's really powerful, but I feel like you gotta like really think about it because the fact that he literally like tied in like he saved reality just by casting a few spells, like that alone is like
Yeah. He
like-
also
like-
ensured their victory against Thanos. Like he knew the plan from what he said.
he did. He went 1-on-1 with Thanos, and he gave us one of the coolest fight scenes
Mm-hmm.
in that little like.
Can we talk
back-to-back.
about how Doctor Strange could have killed Thanos at any moment?
He could have just spiced him up, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Put
Like he literally
could
just
put
takes
the portal in the gauntlet and
exactly
have it fall off.
cuts it off and like just like that.
I
Like
mean, 1% of his power, bro. I'm still
Mhm.
waiting. Hopefully, he uses like at least 50 in his next movie. I look forward to that.
Dude,
Look forward
God,
to
I
that.
love Doctor Strange. He really he's a dog,
He's hype.
bro. He's a
He has a
dog.
good. I just love his story.
Great ass fight scene too.
Great actor.
Yeah, great actor. Everything about him is just
Mr. Yusef in love with this man, bro.
Good deal.
amazing.
I like his special personally.
So what's the next? Oh, we gotta talk about the big thing, bro. On R.I.P. Uncle Ben. Psych. R.I.P. Aunt May.
The new Uncle Ben.
They really told Uncle Ben to shut up, eat a dick. That's what they told him. They said, "Hey, man, you don't exist in this universe. You don't.
Yeah.
We not fucking with you, Uncle Ben."
Durag Daniel over here just walked out.
Daniel. All right, so let's talk about that. Okay, that death scene with Aunt May.
That was pretty emotional.
It
I
was.
think that might have been the part where I heard the dude say he was gonna cry.
That shit was fucked. So this nigga Green Goblin, green bastard, old green bastard. He pulls
And Green
up.
Goblin doing it is also makes the scene much more better.
Thanks, Al Qaeda. Spider-Man, won't be me now. This nigga, the mask. So Jim Carrey shows up, the mask. He throws.
Can we also talk about the fact how they're just beating the shit out of each other, just going through like floors?
Oh my god, that was so
I didn't know
aggressive.
the Green Goblin was as strong, bro.
Yeah, Green Goblin
Oh,
been.
This man
Well, he got that serum in. I mean, he pretty much got the Captain America.
He was taking that
serum in him.
creatine. He was taking that creatine. That
I saw the
pre-workout.
scene where Tom Holland was doing the Black Widow thing, where he's on top of him, he's just
Oh yeah.
banging on him, and every hit, like Willem Dafoe's cracking a little bit more of a smile every time. It's like, damn, this dude's.
I
just
didn't realize
faking it
that.
and
Like,
smiling.
okay, so all right. So for my Spider-Man fans out there, please spare me. But I didn't realize that Green Goblin was Marvel's Joker. No one explained that to me. Like, I didn't know this nigga was like
hurt, bro.
Like, it's not about physical victory, it's about the moral victory of this shit. Like, you know.
Bro, he was just.
But it's also great that he's like a schizophrenic, so like half the time he's like normal and he's freaking out what the hell is going on, and then just turns whenever like it becomes like whenever the Goblin needs to, because he's like they're feeling pitiful for him. He's like, Green Goblin, fuck you, kill your aunt.
He was such a great actor. He's such a great actor, bro.
Willem Dafoe, I don't know anyone who cannot like Willem Dafoe. Today I was at work all day and I was like watching interviews like with all the cast and all that stuff with Willem Dafoe.
When he switched over to like the good Green Goblin, like I actually like believed him. Like I genuinely like I was like, damn, bro, like let me help you.
Yeah, like I think he had everybody in the theater convinced.
Bro, like damn, that's crazy. But I saw it coming though. I saw the twist because I told my friend like something feel right, bro. Like this guy's way too nice.
When I was watching like stuff on Willem Dafoe, I'm like, this man literally played both Jesus and the devil. It's like, how many actors can you like say did that?
A great track.
Morgan Freeman played God once.
I can see
Like,
that.
did he play the devil?
He didn't play the devil, but he did play God. So nah, if Morgan Freeman plays God, then Samuel L. Jackson has to play the devil.
I can still see that too, bro.
Get your punk ass in hell.
It'd be funny they made a Kevin Hart be the devil.
Nah, they gotta have like
Just for the ha-has.
nah, they gotta have Samuel L. Jackson as the devil, Morgan Freeman as God. They gotta have Kevin Hart as like the angel Gabriel or some shit. Like I don't know, like he's gotta be some type of angel or something. Kevin Hart just does some nut shit.
Tall enough to be an angel.
Just have Kevin Hart be the snake.
That'd be funny.
Eat it.
Eden.
Chill, bro. Chill before we get Tyler Perry any ideas, bro.
Guys, I think we're getting sidetracked.
Is there any character we haven't talked about?
Well, we didn't finish going with the Aunt May scene, bro.
Okay, guys, she died, and she said the line. She said it. With great power comes great responsibility. And basically, when all the Spider-Mans meet up again, he's like, "You don't understand what I'm going through," because obviously Tom Holland doesn't know about the other Spider-Mans and all their history. But they're like, "Yes, we do, bitch." Like.
That might have been quite literally the dumbest line in the whole movie when he stared at two different versions of himself and said, "You don't know what I'm going through." They don't.
Literally.
They don't know what you're going through. They're quite
literally. Guy over there, double your age.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to pull Tom to the screen and say, "Tom, These two guys are quite literally the only people who know what you're going through. In fact, they know exactly bar for bar every detail of what you're going through because they already did it. What are you talking about, Tom? Do you not see the Spider-Man outfit? What do you mean they don't know what you're going through?
It made the whole scene 10 times better because obviously we know, but he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And when he's saying the line, "Great guard comes," and then Toby's like, "Great responsibility." I was just like, damn it. Andrew was
Uncle
like,
Ben said that.
Andrew didn't say
And
anything, but he
all of them got some emotions there.
I know. Bro, can we talk about how that nigga Andrew Garfield has like the when he started saying at one point I just started pulling back the punches and I was just like, you're goddamn right you did, Andrew. You did. Because he got the shortest end of the stick because he lost Gwen and Uncle Ben
in this movie.
He lost Gwen and Uncle Ben. He lost both. Don't forget that.
did.
And he found out both his parents were dead. So that's 4 bodies. That's 4 deaths he had to experience within 2 movies.
What about the Green Goblin? Did he die as well?
Green Goblin's not in the Amazing Spider-Man.
The second one, the one who like, dropped
Gwen.
And
Electro
Lizard.
and Lizard.
Yeah,
Electro and Lizard.
No, the dude who dropped Gwen.
Electro. Oh, no. Harry Osborn. That Goblin. Harry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he die in that one?
I don't know what happens to Harry.
I feel he's irrelevant, and that's for a reason.
Bro, I thought that was so funny that you sound like, yeah, my best friend tried to kill me, and Ned's thinking.
That was like,
Ned's like, I'm not gonna kill you, Ned. You don't exist in the other universe. And it keeps on. It was so funny how everyone's like, "Oh, that's MJ. That's MJ," but no one was like, "Oh, that's your Ned," because they're like, "Who's this Ned guy? Where's Harry?"
for real.
Poor Ned. We love you, Ned. I'm so sorry.
I hope to see more of him.
He's great.
I don't know how, but hopefully,
He's
we
great.
see more of him.
Mm-hmm.
But then we might not with how this ends.
So
We might not see Zendaya or Ned again.
Then it's be a good time to start talking about the ending, just to see where you think it will lead to. So
So
basically,
with the ending of the movie, it both can be an ending and a beginning.
that's what I'm saying. This
there's a
feels like
beginning.
his true origin story because this is
it's
like
a beginning.
it feels like a beginning. That's what I'm saying. This movie is this is the real Spider-Man. This is the real origin story. Those other 2 movies, why? Like, can we talk about
necessary? They were necessary.
Not really. Far From Home was so bad.
I disagree with you, Yusef. I mean, I understand how you feel, but they kind of set things up.
I feel
like they make it flow. They make it flow well. You understand how things happen to where they are.
So what does Homecoming set up?
It was the beginning of his
introduces
journey.
him.
Like he's still learning the ropes.
We introduced him in
If
Civil
you
War.
think about it, it's even more realistic because it takes about 2 movies for Spider-Man to actually, well, with this one, 3 to really get the idea of what Spider-Man truly is. And after this one, it's like, okay, I understand now.
So okay, if that's the case, why were Toby and Andrew able to do it in one?
Because it's not realistic, I guess. To me, this is the most realistic thing. All right, it took 2 movies, 2 big.
So you're telling me after the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and after Spider-Man 1, Toby and Andrew's first movies, they didn't feel like Spider-Man to you?
We're still learning the ropes.
That's what an origin movie is. You learn the ropes in an origin movie. People that Spider-Man did it in one movie. Andrew, Miles Morales, and Toby all did it in one movie. We all got their origin story in one movie.
Okay, we got this one really good movie. Why are you complaining?
It took us 3 films to finally get a good one.
That's fine.
But it was good, so I'm happy. Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not happy. I love this film. I thought this film was amazing. I just really felt like
this Tom was a little special. He needed extra
it
time.
was special.
You know how some babies can walk in a couple of months? Well, Tom Holland just took a year.
Need some time to cook.
You said a year?
Yeah.
What time did Homecoming come out? Because it took him more than a year.
No,
Mike.
an actual year. I'm just saying, like, babies take months to walk. Well, Tom Holland took a year to start walking.
This took that nigga forever.
You got Thanos snapped, okay? He got a little,
Dude, he did lose 5 years.
So if you think about it, the math, like it works out.
I say all this to say this. Far From Home was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I don't
think it was that bad.
It was that bad.
Either.
It was that bad.
I think it wasn't the best, but it wasn't like dog shit.
I think
It's
it was a
dog
little
shit.
bit below Homecoming.
It was dog shit terrible.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I'd give it like a 3 out of 10. Homecoming's like a 7. I have no issue with Homecoming actually. Like as everything I was just saying, I actually liked Homecoming. I thought that was a good. I thought like I had fun with that film. I didn't have any fun with Far From Home. Like I couldn't care for any part of it when I was watching because none of it felt believable.
I like the whole aspect of like him kind of moving on past the Tony Stark after that mentorship.
But it didn't feel like he moved past Tony Stark. It just felt like he became Tony Stark. That was the issue. He didn't move past.
Then he kind of learned, and then that kind of brings him to this. This was a good segue.
They even reveal his identity to the public.
The whole that basically led to all the consequences in this movie, and then he had to learn from that.
I don't understand. You keep saying he's like Tony. How do you see the similarities between him and Tony?
I'm not talking about personality. I'm talking about Spider-Man is not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Just that he has like all this gear with him.
He's given the Iron Spider's not the Iron Spider. He is. He's given the Iron Spider suit in his first movie.
I understand that. I understand that he is kind of like relying on his stuff and not self-reliant.
He's super reliant on his stuff. Tony saves him. In his first fight in his movie, he gets saved. Why is he fighting? Like it's what I mean is he's not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's an Avenger. That's what he is. He's an Avenger. He's doesn't deal with like the petty crimes that Spider-Man actually deals with. He's dealing with like galactic level threats. That's never been Spider-Man. Listen. That's how he was. Now he does feel like Spider-Man. Now he is Spider-Man. So I like it now. It's no issue. But it didn't feel that way. And it just felt like he was Peter Parker. It felt like Tom Holland was Peter Parker. But it felt like a Spider-Man didn't exist in this universe. It just felt like Iron Man and Iron Man's sidekick.
His adopted son.
Exactly. And they used Iron Man. And the thing is, they needed to kill... I'm not glad they killed Aunt May because Marissa Tomei... Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa Tomei. Listen. No, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm
gonna take my headphones off.
I'm not even gonna go there. But you know. Miles Morales. That's all I'm gonna say.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I'm Miles Morales. That's all I'm gonna say. But they had to do the whole Aunt May takes Uncle Ben's place because what they tried to do is they tried to have Tony take Uncle Ben's place. Tony was supposed to be this Spider-Man's Uncle Ben. That's why I never showed it to him. It didn't work. And that's when he snaps away and goes, "I'm Iron Man." That's him saying to Spider-Man, "With great power comes great responsibility." That's his Uncle Ben's death that Spider-Man uses to propel him. It doesn't work, which is why Far From Home falls flat on its face. And then when they do it in this movie, they had to redo. They realized it didn't work, so they had to redo it, rework it. And now Spider-Man feels like Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying. The third movie in the Spider-Man trilogy feels like the origin story.
Mm-hmm.
And if like that's and we had to, and Marvel can do it because they have so many movies. It doesn't matter how many movies they give Spider-Man because, like, they had to figure this out somehow. They cannot continue this universe without Spider-Man, who is like the centerpiece of Marvel. He is Marvel. There is no Marvel without Spider-Man. That's just the truth of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they finally figured it out. And I'm glad that Tom feels like Spider-Man. So I'm excited to see where they go from here. But I still hate Far From Home.
I think now would be a good time to, I guess, hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen moving forward?
Well, the thing now is like it's a blank slate, so they can literally do anything they want with him, in regards to like the source material or anything. Like
Venom's the next thing coming up.
I don't know if they'd go right to Venom. If they're going to show Venom, I think it'd be like in the post credits.
They did.
They did.
They literally did that.
Yeah,
Tim.
but I don't know. I don't know if they like next with Venom right after because I think
Who's
that's
next?
established.
Green Goblin.
I don't know.
Ant already got him.
They showed Craven in the portal things coming in and Scorpion and some other people.
I did see
coming
that.
through the portal.
I thought those were the Eternals, but like that didn't really make sense because
I thought those were King. I thought those were different versions of King the Conqueror.
Yeah, I kind of like. I wish I like screenshotted that just.
I didn't know what the fuck the
figures were,
niggas
bro.
were. Yeah.
I thought they were obviously people, but like I
didn't know who.
thought they were constellations, bro. At first, I was like, "What the fuck?" Is that?
He thought he saw the Big Dipper in the sky.
Literally, bro. Like I saw like a line. I was like, I remember that. That's a constellation.
That's the Big Dip. That's
The
Orion's
problem
belt.
with the Venom is, well, I mean, I guess you could, but the whole thing with Venom is like his interactions with other people, and I feel like they'd have to kind of establish other people.
What do you mean?
For like, Venom has to get onto Spider-Man, but Spider-Man has no one to interact with right now. So it's like I feel like that wouldn't really work quite yet. You need him to like.
Did we watch the
meet
same
new
post-credit
people.
scene?
Literally, guys, they went to the movies together.
I think we watched 2 different post-credit scenes, bro. Like, Eddie Brock shows up, does like his whole little bit. I'm Eddie Brock. Hey guys, I'm part of the verse now. I'm here. Hey. And then Venom, like part of him, like drips off and like onto the table, and now like that was like, oh, the next villain's Venom. That's what they were hinting at.
That's it.
That's like the whole post-credit scene. It's like they literally said the next villain is Venom, and they'll figure it out. There's probably an Eddie Brock in that universe too. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. But they
But,
can
like-
choose anyone now. It doesn't have to be.
Well, like no, because
be Ned.
I can tell you 2 who they can't choose right off the bat. They can't choose any of the villains we just saw because we just saw them.
Mhm.
So
Right.
they can't choose Green Goblin, can't choose Doc Ock, and those are the 2 biggest ones. The third biggest one is Venom, and they need a major villain because nobody cares about who's the guy fought in the first one: Falcon, Hawk, Vulture. That was his name.
Vulture.
There's so many birds.
He
Hawkeye,
can still do
Falcon.
it. Vulture can still be there because he doesn't know who Peter Parker is. But I don't know how they do it.
It's not.
I mean, heck, I mean, it's up. I mean,
Well, actually, wait, no, he's in prison, isn't
yeah.
wait. I mean, maybe Kingpin, but like, I don't know.
he? Ooh, Kingpin. That'd be interesting.
Feels
I'd
so
also be
weird,
interested
though.
in that.
They
I'd
could do
also be-
Deadshot as well. Bring that Deadshot.
No, they couldn't.
Yeah.
They can't.
Oh.
I can tell you right now,
How
they
would
can't
you
do
have-
Deadshot.
how
Want to
would
know
you
why?
have-
Deadshot's
Have
in
you guys seen
DC.
Daredevil?
He's in DC,
No, he's
my
not.
guy.
Or not Deadshot. Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye. Nice shot. I'm like, yeah, if they contact the Warner Bros. Studio, maybe they could get Deadshot in there.
I meant Bullseye. Sorry.
And what, Batman gonna show up too?
It could be Kingpin, but that'd be like
I
over.
want
I'd be-
to
yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man.
I thought Bullseye was a Daredevil villain though.
Daredevil's been introduced.
Yeah, it is. But Daredevil, all the Daredevil villains cross over Spider-Man because they're all in New York and they usually.
But
work
wouldn't you
together.
just save like? But that's mainly his villain. So wouldn't you
But they're showing
save?
Kingpin into Hawkeye, so it's like I can see it happening. We never seen Black Cat.
Black Cat.
They don't have-
And
Mary
and
Jane doesn't-
MJ
Mary-
Oh, wait, MJ's doing it.
Yeah, Mary Jane doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I don't think she can because Michelle Jones exists. I don't think Mary Jane can ever exist. I think that's the issue. MJ is Michelle Jones. I don't think Mary Jane can exist in this universe.
so do you ever see Zendaya playing somebody that's not Zendaya? Because Zendaya plays Zendaya in all her movies. Let's be honest here. Do you see Zendaya becoming a villain at all in the future with the way her character's built up? Because I don't.
No,
Like, I really don't.
That would be so out of left field. That would make.
Do you think they would come back to her? and
Is
be
Black
like
Cat
his,
even
like,
a
final-
villain? I feel like Black Cat's like Catwoman. She's not really
she's
a villain.
but she's pretty much Catwoman. Where sometimes she like works with him, sometimes she's against him.
Yeah,
But they kind of like have a love interest thing going
yeah.
on.
It's not. She's not really a villain. More of an anti-hero.
Yeah, but still, they haven't shown her yet. Now they can.
Yeah. But what I was saying to him is like every superhero has like their set of villains and they have like some crossover villains. And my example was like Batman has like Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler. Those are his villains. But then he also has some crossover villains like Deathstroke, Deadshot, Lex Luthor. Like those are Solomon Grundy. Those are all like villains that he shares with other heroes. They're like, oh, this is your villain, but this is also like kind of my villain. So like we kind of fight him together. But like Bullseye is Daredevil's villain. But like
I'm
you
pretty
would
sure he fought Spider-Man.
he probably has. So a lot of people have fought
But
Spider-Man.
He
Spider-Man
got
has
to do
fought
a
Thanos.
Hobgoblin.
Mr. Negative.
I feel like we're choosing a lot of the shitty Spider-Man villains right now.
I mean, all the good ones are taken. I mean, I'm looking at a
Like
list
we're
right now.
picking like
Morbius.
when you said Mr.
I mean-
Negative, now we're picking at like the bottom of the barrel of Spider-Man villains. You might as well say the Penny Man. What's the Coin Man, Penny Man? Who's that bull? I forget. That was the Spider-Man villain. It's in
I
Penny
think the
Man,
next
yeah.
one they're probably gonna do is Craven.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, not terrible. I'd be okay with Kingpin. I'd be okay with Craven.
Kingpin,
Okay.
cool.
I'd
Kingpin would
prefer
be
Venom though. I'd rather just go
I
straight
mean,
to the
yeah,
Venom movie.
Venom's the strongest one that they.
It makes
I
sense
think-
because like now he's depressed, he's angry. This is like the perfect time for Venom to strike
No, but he
Spider-Man.
grew. He's growing.
No, but he's still sad. He lost his Aunt May. His friends
He
are
lost
gone.
his girl, his friend. Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
like he's like,
I
this is
think-
like the time to strike.
I think what they can do is they can pull a Thanos right now, and they slowly go back to Venom every couple movies. But
Exactly. That's what I'm
it's not
saying.
going to be the next
The
villain.
next one.
I feel this is the next big villain, but it's
He's the
going to
next
be
major one.
all villains.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't think he'd be the next like main villain.
Mhm.
I think it'd be
Maybe-
too soon for that.
Maybe Kingpin is the small villain, right? We get a crossover, we make some money, and then the big villain is Venom. It would be Venom in this one. I don't know.
So Venom. So here's what I'm so confused, bro. Because Venom is a villain in Spider-Man's universe, but in Eddie Brock's universe, he's an anti-hero.
Basically,
I mean, it depends on how they want to show him. It depends on his interaction with Spider-Man.
So technically, and part of the symbiote that dripped off of Eddie Brock was his Venom. So technically, shouldn't the Venom that's about to attach himself to Tom be the same villain Venom as Eddie Brock's? Because it's the same symbiote. So they should have the same like mindset.
yeah, same personality essentially, right?
So what I'm saying is that Venom isn't all that evil. He's just like kind of evil. He's not really evil though. So like,
I mean, it could always change. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with like some like ex machina thing where like, oh, this Venom got eviler because it's in the wrong universe. I don't know. All right, I think we've been milking the hell out of this movie and talking about how much we love it. Let's talk about some things we didn't like about this movie. What are some things we didn't like?
Just that like the villains, like Sandman, Lizard, are kind of like just there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not the biggest deal. But mostly the Lizard just being there.
Yeah, the Lizard is quite literally just there.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
But he was just there in his movie.
huh.
Really? You think so? No, I think he was like a major part of like what I felt like was happening is that I feel like over and over we kind of follow the Doc Ock storyline. Like, oh, Spider-Man's working with this scientist, and then the scientist turns evil and he has to fight him. Like the Lizard and Doc Ock have damn near the same storyline.
You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
A lot of scientists.
Well, everyone in the Marvel universe is smart. Like that's like the big thing is
I mean,
everyone's
they
a
were all
genius.
by some sort of experiment, pretty much, right?
It's not even just all the villains, yeah, it was all from experiment. You're right, yes. But like everyone in the Marvel universe is smart. Like Bruce Banner's got his 4 PhDs. There's Doctor Strange, Iron Man, like Spider-Man. Everyone's smart except for Thor. Except Thor's the only idiot. Thor and
He
Drake.
knows intergalactic knowledge, bro.
Mhm.
There's a
He
different
knows
type.
the history of the 7 worlds or whatever.
What else did I not like about this movie?
I'm trying to think of something.
I don't like that Spider-Man didn't act out at all. Like when I feel like I know that like he's never supposed to like cross the line, but the thing is he should do something that like shows that like he's really hurt by all the stuff that happens. Like when Jonah J. Jameson's like outside reporting at Spider-Man, like right as Aunt May's dying, and like they're all shooting at him. Like I feel like he just should have like thrown like a fucking piece of like concrete just at them while they're shooting at him, just like out of anger. Like
I mean,
nothing like overboard, but just something like small like that. Like I feel like will help into
at the end when he's like almost about to stab the Green Goblin, I thought that was the acting out because he was like beating him to a pulp at that point. But like
Yeah.
there was no
That was a good
punch.
scene.
No,
Good
but
ass
that's
scene.
the moment where like, no, we can't let you do that. There has to be like a small. That's the big moment. I wanted like a minute thing, like not something like he's about to kill someone, but something like I said, like he throws like a giant boulder at like a helicopter or something, like something like just along those lines, where it's like it's a bit like smaller scale. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's nitpicky though. There's not a lot wrong with this movie. To be quite honest, this movie's pretty good.
That's sometimes
And I guess it's a little bit convenient with like some of the stuff with like Doctor Strange with the spell, and then like with Ned finding
Yeah.
the other guys and being able to use the ring.
that scene was so funny with the grandma. She's like, "Oh, can you get the cobweb?" And then just like, I mean, okay.
He's like, okay, I'm going to bed now.
That's such a Spider-Man thing to do too. Like, oh, you want me to get the cobweb? Of course I get the cobweb for you. Like, love
It was
that.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything, so I'm gonna just shut up.
Also, I
guess-
think we need more Spider-Man moments from Tom. Like, there's a scene in Amazing Spider-Man where like someone destroyed this one kid's science project and Andrew fixes it for him, and it's like this, you're gonna win this. He's like, you're gonna win the science fair with this. You know what I'm talking about, Brian?
Yeah,
They're bullying
I
that
do.
kid. We don't have enough of that with Tom. I feel
In
we
this
Just like
movie?
interacting with like people.
in this
I
movie
don't
and
know.
well in
You
all
just
the
kinda-
movies.
Like I understand the other ones. I don't think there was really space for that in this one with his identity being revealed because they all had been like, "Oh, you're
True.
Spider-Man."
That is true. Everybody knows who he is, so like
Yeah.
it's kind of difficult to do
I
that.
don't really think it'd work there. I think it'd work in the first one
In
when
the
he had
past,
nothing to do.
he's done that. In the past, he's
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. In
What
the
did he
first one
do?
in Homecoming,
What do you do in Homecoming?
when he was helping like I don't know the woman at the churro stand or something.
Yeah, the Cheryl Strand. So
Mhm.
someone took this bike. It's like he finds the bike or whatever. Like it's.
Mhm.
Yeah, here's a free
Yeah,
bike.
yeah, yeah,
Or-
yeah.
So he's done that in the past, but this one, yeah, there was no
Yeah.
room for that, and there was
One something I did see before. It's like at the beginning, they kind of go. They're kind of like weird with the tone. Like there's like a lot of dark elements of this one, but then they kind of do some weird like comedy bits with the villains like Doc Ock in them.
Yeah. The tone is all over the place. I will say that.
But then
Like-
then it gets a lot better in the second half. Just in the beginning half, there's a little bit like I like they did. They
Mhm.
kind of made like review. I said they kind of made Doc Ock look a little bit stupid, like when he was like being contained.
I don't think he felt stupid. He just like I just kind of feel like he doesn't know what the hell is going on. It's kind of like he's going after the wrong Spider-Man in a different universe. Like it's kind of like there's not. I don't know how else he would act other than like, well, there's nothing he can do really.
Yeah, I mean there really aren't that many complaints. Just the main one's probably like the some of the villains, just them how they were at in their scenes, and then there was some stuff that was kind of convenient regarding these villains or with Ned doing this thing, and then with Doctor Strange with the spells. Even if that stuff is like a bit of a complaint, it's still really enjoyable with how they presented everything.
Let's preface by saying this is nitpicky stuff we're doing right now. These aren't anything like major that we had an issue with. Like this, all the stuff we're mentioning is just like stuff like we wish could have been like little stuff we wish could have been improved on. But the movie is great. So I think with that being said, we wanna make this Christmas theme and wrap it up. You like that Christmas theme? Wrap it up.
Let's go around, give our ratings, final thoughts.
Yeah.
I'll start off. I give it a solid 9, and I say that very confidently because it truly is like a fun movie to watch for everybody. I feel even if you somehow missed a couple of the old movies and you jumped right back into this one, you would still enjoy it because at the end it's still an enjoyable movie. But for the people that have watched all the movies up to this point, they would feel it so much more. Like it's so worth it.
I'm gonna have to give some pushback. This
No,
movie is
Yusef,
like
I think I was thinking earlier. I'm like I haven't seen the Andrew Garfield ones, but I think you would enjoy this movie still because like, it's just the chemistry and everything works well. I don't think you'd kind of like understand like some of the things that we do that really amplify everything, like him saving MJ.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like that MJ scene does not hit the same if you did not watch the MJ
But that
movies.
still kind of explain what happens, so you don't necessarily need to watch them
It's
and like
not-
everything.
No, the emotional value is not the same.
It's not the same, but they
Yeah, but it's
present it where they catch everyone up, and I think you'd still really enjoy it.
That's my
So
whole. You can come back and watch it, and you still love the movie. But if you watched,
I
all
mean,
the,
what are you doing if you haven't seen them? First of all, if you haven't at least seen like, if you at least know about them, I mean,
Here's what I
you
think.
wouldn't be watching this far.
I think you don't need to watch every Tobey Maguire movie. I think you actually, if you just watch the third Spider-Man, watch the Amazing Spider-Man, and then honestly watch Homecoming and then this one, that's 5 Spider-Man movies. You watch those 5, this movie's amazing. You don't need to watch all of them, but you need to watch a good handful for this movie to really get its full effect. Because I feel like if I just took a random person who's never seen a single Spider-Man movie and made them watch this movie, they'd be like, this was cool. A bit all over the place, but this was cool. Seeing 3 Spider-Men.
But
They'd be
yeah, I also have
confused.
to
They'd be-
understand what its audience is.
Yeah.
Its target audience.
And I think
I
like
still think you would enjoy it if you hadn't seen some of the other ones.
because it's just the way the movie's crafted, it's an enjoyable movie to watch.
I think it's
I understand your point, but I still think like most people would still love seeing this movie.
They just wouldn't be freaking out like we were when we saw like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They'd just be like, "Oh, that's cool."
that's cool. Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like they're just kind of like, that's cool.
But
And
that's how
then,
it is.
but
It's like what
is a
do you
9? But
expect
my
them
question
to?
is a 9 out of 10 movie and that's cool? Because that sounds like a 7 out of 10 movie and that's cool. A 9 out of 10 is
Yusef,
holy
what
shit,
do you
that's
say?
amazing. What am I saying? I'm saying if you don't have any background on Spider-Man,
This movie knows its
doesn't make
audience.
sense. Yeah, but yeah, obviously it knows its audience. That's why I call it Spider-Man fan service. That's what this is. It's Spider-Man fan service. But the moment you take the prefaces out of this and like what you need in the context of this movie, it starts to make a lot less sense and starts to get really wonky and all over the place. This movie is amazing in context. Out of context, I think you guys might have different opinions on this film. But at the same time, why would you watch this movie out of context?
Exactly. It's like if you watch Endgame without watching any other ones, like it would be good. It's the same situation.
Endgame's worse. If you watch Endgame with no context, that movie is like almost a 4 out of 10. It's all over the place.
But it's like you can't watch them without the other ones. It's like
you're right.
It's the
You're
middle.
right.
It's
You're
the middle
absolutely
of
right,
a series.
You're absolutely right.
But yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10. Go watch it, please. Thank you. That's all.
Yep, 9 out of 10 here. It's great. Amazing rewatchability. It is satisfying in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Has some minor nitpicks that we said, but besides that, it is very, very well done and very enjoyable to watch.
I will agree with my other co-host. It is indeed a 9 out of 10. Like I said, in context, out of context, that score might be different. But why would you ever watch the movie out of context? Why? For what reason? So definitely, if you're a big Marvel fan, big Spider-Man fan, go check this movie out. 9 out of 10. Amazing. Tom really... This is really his, like, they really passed down the torch to Tom. And, like, now he feels like a true Spider-Man. And I love the way they did it. I love every interaction between Toby and Andrew. Only thing I'm pissed is that they didn't do the picture, the meme, the Spider-Man meme, where they all pointed at each other.
I just sent you in the group chat in the Instagram. Yusuf, if you look now, you can see they kind of did it.
Oh, I don't know if you can. They kind of did it.
Look on the Instagram, Yusuf. I sent it.
They kind of did it. Not perfectly, but they were close.
Oh, huh. They did kind of do it. I don't know.
I'm happy with this. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm not happy with it. They did kind of do it, so I'll give them half credit. Though I think they probably Marvel had the perfect opportunity to make that scene like clear as day. So everyone
They had a
could,
lot
like,
of good
notice.
jokes.
Yeah.
Can't complain there. By the way, who do you think has the best suit?
The best looking suit?
Yeah.
I want to say Tom, but Tom doesn't have any suits. All his shit is CGI. So Andrew
His
has
new
the best
suit's
suit.
pretty good though.
All his
The
suits
one that
look
he made.
cool. Every single one of Tom's suits look cool. They're just not real. Like the
No,
noir
I meant the one
suit.
at the very end of the movie, like after he.
Oh, the one he
makes
that
everyone
actual
forget
blue
about
one.
him.
I actually didn't really like. I liked the blue. I liked it because it means he's now Spider-Man. He's not doing the red and black. He's doing the red and blue like he's supposed to. But I just didn't like the way the suit looks. I actually like his older suits better. I like the red and black one he has is actually kind of fire. I can't lie.
Okay, guys, we're getting sidetracked again. We're wrapping up the episode.
He said it. He said it.
When are we gonna get a Hispanic Spider-Man?
Miles
Never.
Morales.
Never.
Oh, he definitely is half black, half Hispanic. Fuck, I forgot about. Right, that means for us to get the role, we have to do the fusion dance to get it. We gotta combine into one nigga. No, that means Ryan's gonna be Miles Morales. Ryan's half Puerto Rican.
Oh damn! Yeah, Ryan's is in competition. You know, could be in talks with Kevin Feige. We can't confirm or deny if Ryan's in talks with Kevin Feige.
Dang,
That
can't
nigga
confirm
fits
or
the
deny.
description.
your safe might be moved, bro. You might not get the.
Nah, I'm gonna fight for this Miles Morales position. I was born to play Miles Morales. I'm him. Disney, make me Miles Morales. I'm him, bro. Where are my Tims at?
No, no.
The longest outro ever.
You see these? You see these? You see these? You see these? Yeah, that's me, right? That's me, right?
Yusuf, do your best Spider-Man pose on the bed.
What did you
I
say?
can hear
Sam?
Yusef. Do your best Spider-Man pose on the bed.
Oh, I got you.
You got to do the thumbnail.
Okay, guys.
we got our thumbnail.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Film Dissection. Please, Tim, Bryan, one of you, tell them where they can find us, please.
You go, Tim.
I was gonna let you go, bro. I do it all the time.
You go. You go.
Okay,
Avoiding
I guess I'm
responsibility.
privileged. You know where you can find us. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, any other podcast listening service, or you can find our social medias on Instagram or TikTok at Film Dissection Podcast.
Please like, share, comment, subscribe, share with everybody you know, share with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if you can. We need more views. We need more people watching. And for those of you who are already watching, we thank you so much for your time and dedication to our podcast. We really appreciate it. Everything counts. So thank you, and good night.